Everybody, I'm Jack Rita, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a custom variant I have made for Puerto Rico, which is one of my favorite games. I love Puerto Rico. I think it's one of the tightest designed games that I've ever played. It's great, and it's certainly not a game that needs variants or expansions, but I like designing them, so I've gone ahead and made one, and it's called Alternating Roll Effects. And the way it works is I've made these cards of the roll. So these are the normal rolls in the game. They're slightly bigger on these cards. But on the back side are the same rolls, but it's with an alternate effect. And one of the ways you can play the game is you can just say, we're only going to be using the alternate effects, and that will be a radically different game, as you will see. But the original design of the game was you start the game with the normal roll effects out, however many that you are, depending on the player count. But after you are done with your roll for that turn and you return it, you're going to flip it over and leave the alternate side face up. And the next time somebody takes that roll, they must use the alternate side of the roll. The one exception, of course, is the governor. The governor, when they choose a roll, they may choose either side. And whichever side they choose when they put that roll back, they're going to flip it over and leave the alternate version of whichever version they used as the one that the next player selecting that roll would use. So let's take a look at these different rolls and what the alternate effects are. So we've got the builder here, and the normal builder effect is that your building costs are -1 doubloon. So when you turn that back, the next time somebody chooses the builder, the effect is that they're immune to the cost increase of 1. So that means there's actually a universal increase to costs as soon as somebody chooses the alternate builder. Everything costs 1 more doubloon except for the player who has the builder thing. So it turns it on its ear a little bit. The economy is going through a rough patch there in Puerto Rico, and everything costs a little bit more. The builder still gets a break, but that's going to have an impact on that round. So we have the captain, and the normal captain effect is that you get 1 victory point more total. When you use the alternate captain, you can add a second type of good to a ship. So you may have a ship that's filling up with corn, and if you've got the alternate captain, you can say, we're going to add sugar to that ship as well, as long as there's space available. And after you add the second type of good, if there's still space available on that ship, then the other players can add either type of good. So you kind of open up that one ship. And if you pick a big ship, other players may be able to benefit as well, but normally you're going to try to get rid of as many of your goods as you can and hopefully fill up that one ship with the 2 types of goods. But we'll see how it goes for you. All right, you have the craftsman. And the normal craftsman is you get 1 more good from the supply. The alternate craftsman doesn't get the extra good, but they do get an extra doubloon. So a little bit of money set aside, maybe a bribe, who knows. We have the counselor, which is kind of like one of the extra rolls here. The normal counselor effect is you take your next turn before the governor. The alternate one, you are actually going to choose any other player to be the next governor, and that can have a big effect on how things unfold for that round. The mayor, normal mayor, gets 1 more colonist from the supply. The alternate mayor is immune to the crime wave. And what is the crime wave? Well, when you have extra colonists that you cannot place on any of your buildings or plantations, there's going to be repercussions. Those are people without jobs, and the unrest gets too much, and so they're resorting to crime. So if you've got 1 extra colonist, you're going to lose a doubloon. If you've got 2 extra colonists, you're losing 3 doubloons. And if you have 3 or more, you have to lose 1 of your buildings. Your choice, but still very harsh effect. So you have to really pay attention to how many colonists you're generating, especially if you have effects that generate extra colonists, with your need to build enough buildings in order to put some colonists into them. The one prospector is the same on both sides. You're getting a doubloon from the bank. The other one, you get two doubloons from the bank. So again, depending on your player count. The settler can make get a quarry instead of a plantation, but the alternate may trade out a plantation. So you've got the leftover plantations and you're like, oh, I had to build corn I put in a corn plantation. I didn't really want one. But now that I've got the alternate settler, I can actually get rid of that corn plantation and put in something else, coffee maybe. And then we have the trader. So normally the trader effect is you get 1 doubloon more from the bank. But with the alternate trader, what happens is you're going to clear the trading house after trading. And that is not always the case when you do the trading. Not everybody is able to put something on there and it stays half full until it gets full, but not with the alternate trader. Everyone who can trade trades, if they so choose, but then it's cleared. And that is one of the alternate roles that may have one of the biggest effects on the game as well. So that's how this expansion works. It's fairly straightforward, not very many components. It's got the reference for the crime wave so that you know what you're getting into, and of course the governor card. I'm actually going to make another set of these that are a little bit smaller, but these are fine. They work well, and I enjoy it. I play a lot of Puerto Rico, and it is, like I said, it's a really great design. It's a pretty tight-knit game, but it unfolds in a fairly typical fashion every time we play it. So I do like to mix it up every once in a while and try out the variant and just see how the game unfolds. It really forces you to think about your old strategy that is your tried and true approach to how you play the game, and you really have to shift tactics along the way. So that's what I like about it. It changes up your expectations, and it forces you to pay attention to what's going on and make modifications as you see what's unfolding before you. When you see, okay, that alternate version of that role is going to be out, I really have to plan ahead and think about maybe doing something that I normally wouldn't do, and that might actually help me to win the game. So there you have it. Let me know what you think of this variant. Let me know if you've ever come up with any variants for Puerto Rico. I'd love to hear about it and test them out for my own self. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.